This practice combines yoga, Pilates, barre, and weights, all those good things. It can be an hour long. It's going to be live, 1 hour straight to finish, 1 hour long, or if you can just stick around for 10 minutes, that's good too. But the thing is, you decide. This is the place where you choose what's right for you, and you do what's right for your body. Welcome to your yoga from home. The beauty of doing it in your home is that you can do it your way. But whatever you do, do what is right for your body. That's the most important thing. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, come on, you've done more uncomfortable things than that. Yes, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Every day we practice a different way. Today's might be more of a challenge. Try it and see. Do what you can. You can do it because you modify it. That's the ticket. You modify the poses. Check us out every single day of the week. We're different on Facebook and YouTube if they're working. Let's come on up to standing. Let's do our warm-up. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is lock in a stress number. We're going to come on up to standing. Lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Let's get the blood flowing. All right, stress number 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you now? Let's extend our arms high to the sky and just stretch it out. Feet about hip width distance apart. Take a deep breath in and a big breath out through your mouth. Sigh out, breathe out. Any stress, let it go. Lengthen up through your fingertips, stretch it out, let it feel good. Now bring your hands down to your hips. Strike a pose of confidence. Legs a little wider than hip width distance. Wiggle your shoulders, nestle them on down. If you have a chair nearby or a countertop, that's fine to hold on to it too. No big deal. Take your hands perhaps to your hips and then start to rise on up to the balls of your feet. Breathe in, breathe out. You can do it. Yes, you can. Don't let your history interfere with your destiny. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. So, think forward. Think forward. You can't change the past. Maybe you were inflexible. Maybe you were immobile. But today, that's changing. And every day it'll change because you're going to come back every day, do what you can, and good things are going to happen. All right, so you're lifting up onto the balls of your feet. Finding confidence here. Come down to your heels and lift your toes up. Give your toes a wiggle. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Rise on up. Rise on up. Back onto the balls of your feet and try to hold it here. Hold it. Lengthen up through your chest. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Focus. If you fall out, big deal. Everybody falls out. Nobody's perfect. It's a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. If you fall out, get back in or hold on to that chair. Breathe. Big breath in. Big breath out. Come on down, rest and settle into your feet. Lift your arms up. Remember extended mountain? Interlace your fingers, palms to the sky. Sway from side to side like a palm tree. Stretch, reach. Elbows can be bent, elbows can be straight. Just sway. Move a little bit. Oh, let it feel good. Feel the stretch between the ribs. And don't get hung up on what you can't do. Don't worry about that. Don't let what you can't do keep you from what you can do, because you can do a whole lot. And the more you do, the more things you can do. And the more things you can do, the less things you can't do. Your yoga is so good for movement. Stick with it. You can do it. All right, come on back to your body. Put your hands behind your low back. Push your belly forward. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Look up to the sky. Think of your chest rising up to the sky. Exhale, soften. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. There's your baby back bend. Let's do the forward fold, the counter of that. Hinge forward. Hinge forward, let your arms hang toward the earth. Little bend in your knees, how's that for a variation? A little wiggle of your hips, little wiggle of your arms, a little shake of your neck. Let the crown of your head come toward the earth. Look at your knees, look up to your belly button. Decompress your low back. All right, just for a second, as you breathe in deeply and breathe out your mouth deeply. Feel what you feel in your low back. How does it feel? Maybe still your knees. Maybe look back up towards your belly button and just feel the decompression in your low back. Bend in the knees. Now, think of your spine as a Lego block set. Stack each Lego block, one on top of the other. Rise on up. Let your chin come off of your chest. Last. All right, now that you're standing, let's do arm circles. Lots of ways to do it. How do your arms and shoulders feel today? Maybe tee out the arms. Draw little circles to the back of the room, and then make the circles bigger, bigger, bigger. Add in your knees. Maybe when the hands come down, the knees bend, arms go up, knees straighten. Now you could also do Nordic poles. Reach one arm, then the other. Pretend like you're skiing. Really reach one arm back, one arm forward, and then opposite. And bounce through the knees. Bend through the knees. Breathe, wake up the knees. Which do you prefer, arm circles or Nordic poles? You decide, but just shake it up. Make it a little different each and every day. Just get those knees moving. The more you move them, the more okay movement is. The saying, use it or lose it. Don't lose it, use it. All right, let's come on up to standing from whatever you're doing here. Take your shoulders back and down. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Time for your big coat swing. So this is just a twist in the waist. Arms are heavy down by your sides. Look over one shoulder than the other. All right, as you're doing this, find peace in your pose. And let's find the word for the day, which is peace. 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 There we go. Peace. Peace means freedom. Freedom from annoyance, distraction, and anxiety. May your practice be peaceful today. Be free of annoyance, any distractions, and anxiety. Just let it go. Twist. Look over your shoulder. Look over the other shoulder. Twist. Let's finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Ragdoll time. Hinge forward at the waist. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Toe heel your feet a little bit apart so you feel nice and stable in your feet. Arms, you're holding on to opposite elbow creases. You're folded forward. Start to sway one elbow back toward your knee, then the other knee. Breathe. Decompress in the low back. Feel it. Let it feel wonderful. Feel what you feel. Take a moment. Sometimes we go in autopilot and we don't feel what we feel. Feel what you feel here. One elbow back toward one knee, other elbow back toward the other. How is it affecting your low back and your hips? All right, finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Take a big breath in. Your belly's going to push against your thighs. And a big breath out. Let it go. Settle in. Really exhale. Feel what you feel in your low back. Let it feel terrific. Now your eyes can be opened or closed. Maybe lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Find your balance here. Release your hands back down to your mat. Bend your knees and let's come into a child's pose. This is where we get into our heads. We just relax into our pose and we realize this little space right here is all that matters right now. Get into the ebb and flow of your breath. Knees can be together, big toes touching. A block can be used here to place your head on. Arms can be down by your sides, shoulders away from the ears. So you're kind of rolled into a little ball here. Find length in your spine. Imagine that. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You can close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose only to allow your body to build heat and focus inward. You can spread your knees wide and send your hips back to your heels and then reach your arms long to the top of your mat. You can have your block under your forehead. You can have no block at all and bring your forehead down to your mat. Stretch it out. In this extended child's pose, when your arms are reaching long and your knees are spread wide, I like to press my hands into the mat and send my tailbone back closer to my heels. Breathe in, breathe out. Lips can be closed. Breath in and out of the nose. And just focus inward. How often do you do that? Not very often, right? We're all so busy satisfying and pleasing others and doing. Just take this moment and just be. Just be on your mat with your breath. Big breath in. Big breath out. This is your child's pose. Come back to it anytime you want. Your knees are loving it. Your quads are loving it. Your ankles are loving it. Your spine is loving the lengthening here. So are your shoulders if you're in this extended child's pose. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's press on up. Stay in the child's pose if you want. Your call. I'm going to come to a neutral tabletop. In this neutral tabletop, my shoulders are over my wrists. My knees are under my hips. The tops of my feet are on the mat. I'm going to flip my hands around and do a forearm stretch. So I'm going to bring my fingertips towards my knees. I'm going to stretch my forearms here by wiggling my hips left to right or moving them a little back and forward. Just enjoying the stretch in the forearm. You don't do this stretch very often. And we're all so tight. You're doing your computer and you're doing things where you don't normally stretch your arms in this way, but it just feels really, really good. Should feel good. If it's painful, back out. Don't do it. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. Or maybe it's comfortable. I find it really comfortable. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, let's finish here. Bring your hands back to a natural position. Wiggle your fingers. Kind of just get those little tingly sensations out of the body there. And find your 2 yoga blocks. All right, toes pose, ankle flow. We love this one, don't we? All right, tuck your toes towards your shins. Sit back on your heels. Blocks are by your sides. Think of them as bringing the ground up to you. All right, so we're going to go from this toes pose where you really stretch the toes to an ankle pose. Let's do it now. Bring the tops of your feet onto your mat. Lean on back. Use the blocks. Push into the blocks and let your knees pop on up. But you know what? If you don't have any blocks, it's no big deal. You can do it without the blocks. Press your hands into the mat. Breathe. Take it back as far as feels right. And then go back to your toes pose. Tuck your toes under. Stretch your feet. Your toes long to be stretched. Summertime, less so, because I mean, you're wearing flip-flops and maybe going barefoot. But a lot of times in the winter, you know, you're in boots, you're in tennis shoes, your feet are tied up, locked up. They're not getting the movement that they need. And that sensation of the feelings on the ground are so good for your body, so good for your sense of balance. All right, I'm going to take it back to the ankle pose. You know, you could have your hands down. You could use those blocks, like I said, or you can bring your hands to prayer center and hold on here and find your balance. All right, so think of all this going on in your feet. 26 different bones, 33 different joints, over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments, and it's 25% of your body's bones are down there in your feet. All right, stretch them out, let it be. Let's come back to a neutral tabletop. In a neutral tabletop, lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, circle your ankles this way and that, and tap with the tops of your feet out on your mat. Let's do cat-cow. Press into the earth. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat. Here's cat pose. Exhale, you're drawing your belly button to your spine. Now it's time to inhale. Send your tailbone and the crown of your head up to the sky. Think of the movement in your neck, forward and back. Think of your tailbone tucking under and then releasing up to the sky. Cat-cow. Good for your spine, spinal movement. All right, let's finish in your cat-cow and let's just take it to a neutral tabletop. Let's do cat pulling its tail. To do that, take it in layers. Do the layer that you can do today. It's up to you. I'm going to lift the right leg up. I'm going to bring the knee to about hip height. I'm going to bring the right hip down a little bit so both my right hip and my left hip are equal distant to the mat. I'm going to press into the mat, and I'm going to draw my heel toward my bottom. You can stay right here. I'm going to push into the mat, and then I'm going to take my left hand, the opposite hand of the leg that's lifted, and reach around and grab my foot. I'm going to hold on to my foot, then I'm going to kick that foot into that hand. Then I'm going to look a little to the left side of my mat, look to the left side of the room, or maybe look over the left shoulder. You decide. Cat pulling the tail, whatever variation you've taken it to, you know what's right, do what's right. All right, I'm going to bring the foot down, bring the leg down, do it on the other side. Readjust, neutral tabletop, lift the left leg a little or a lot, draw the heel toward your bottom, align the hips equal distant to the mat. Perhaps take the right arm, reach around, capture the left foot, kick into the hand. Oh, open up through the collarbone. Look to the right side of your mat, your room, or over your right shoulder. Little twist here. And then finish with the cat pulling the tail. Hand comes down, knee comes down, neutral tabletop. Let's do bird dog pose. We do this a lot. Really good for the spine, for lengthening, for balancing, and for strengthening the spine. I'm going to make it more fun by adding in the ball. Fun's a relative word, right? Okay, if you have a squishy ball, you know, it's not fully inflated, I'm going to put it under my right knee, draw my right toes toward my shin so I'm nice and kind of sort of stable there. The ball creates an unstable surface. The toes help make it work. All right, then I'm going to lift my left leg up. Send my left leg long this time. Hold on here. Now you're going to be wiggling a little bit in that right knee. That's the idea, because all these muscles are wiggling, and with the wiggle, trying to compensate and keep you here, lifted. Lift through the left leg. Send the left leg to the back of the room, heel to the back of the room. Add in the right arm, reach forward, stretch and lengthen your spine. Feel super duper tall from your right fingertips to your left heel. Hold it here. Push the earth away. You've got it. Let's finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. If you're using the ball, switch it to the other knee. If you don't have a ball, totally fine. Just get one for next time. Draw the toes toward the shin. Lift the right leg up. Extend the right leg good and long. Maybe you stay right here. Challenge yourself a little bit by extending the opposite hand of the leg that's lifted. You know, you could always use a block. Put the block in front of you and hold on to it. You decide what you want to do. Make it do it. Make the pose work for you. Lengthen, stretch. You've got it. Hold on in your bird dog. And then finish. Hand comes down. Knee comes down. Take the ball into your hands. Send your knees nice and wide. Hips back to your heels. Roll the ball forward underneath your hands. Sink on down. Forehead maybe comes to the mat. Wiggle the ball a little bit. A little to the left, a little to the right. And then finish. Come on back. Bring the ball, if you have it, if you want to use it. Let's do fire hydrant and donkey kick. I'm going to bring the ball behind my right knee. You could use a weight. You could use the block. You could use a water bottle. Just something that gives you a little extra weight there. Or the ball is fun, and it gives you a little bit of bounce. All right, I'm going to lift the right knee up, and I'm going to do fire hydrant pose. So drawing the right toes toward the shin to help hold on to whatever you got behind your knee. Start to lift the knee to the right side of the room. Lift and lower. You take it as high as you like. Little dog on a fire hydrant, big dog on a fire hydrant. You decide how high you want to lift it. But you're nurturing your hips, getting into that ball and socket, working it. That's what we want to do. We want to work it, right? All right, lift and lower. Maybe hold it up and pulse it up. Little teeny pulses, that's characteristic of a bar practice. Little teeny pulses, oh boy, embrace the burn. Bring the right knee to hover next to the left. Take it to your donkey kick. Lift the leg back like you did in your cat pulling its tail pose. Lift the knee up to about hip height and then pulse. Pulse the knee, pulse the foot up to the sky. Feel the strengthening in your low back. Don't forget to push into your hands. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse it up good and high, hold it up nice and high, and then start to pulse your heel in towards your bottom. Breathe. You know, sometimes we do this in a standing position by using a chair like a bar, like a ballet bar. Just another way of doing it. All right, like I said, we do something different every day. All right, bring your right knee down to hover next to the left. Let's switch it out. Knee comes down, ball or your prop or no prop at all goes behind the other knee. Give it a go. If you don't have a prop, it's totally fine. You can still do this. Neutral tabletop, toes drawn towards your shin. Start to lift the leg to the side of the room, fire hydrant. Breathe. All right, I gotta tell you something kind of fun. So keep lifting. You take it to your height. I'm not going to talk long. Keep going. All right, so at the end, you know, when we have those outflows saying, you know, goodbye, good for you, all that stuff, the background, you know, Dwayne always takes the pictures. The background is when we were in Greece. It was when we were in Corfu. So if you ever watch on PBS the Durrells in Corfu, remember that scene when, was it Larry or Leslie bought a little rowboat? Remember that? Lift the leg up, pulse it up. When he bought the boat, the scene in our outflow is right where that was. So just kind of cool, kind of neat. All right, pulse, pulse, pulse. Let's finish. Hover the knee next to the right knee. Send the left leg back. And when you're ready, pulse it up in your donkey kick. Check out your hips. Pulse it up. I hope this feels good for you. You know, when you move, you feel better, don't you? In your head. Your yoga is said to be the union of your body, your mind, and your spirit. All very important. And you just feel better when you move. You feel better in your head. All right, little pulses up. Lift it good and high. Now kick it in towards your bottom. Keep it going. Keep it going. So you're strengthening those big muscles, your glutes. You're strengthening them, making your standing posture, making your stability better. We all need to be more stable, right? All right, keep kicking it in. Now let's finish. Hover the left knee next to the right. Plant the left knee next to the right on the mat. Remove the ball up towards your hands. Spread your knees super duper wide. Big toes touch, hips back to your heels. Stretch it out. This feels really good, doesn't it? Place your hands on the ball. Forehead down towards your mat. Lengthen through your spine. Hips back towards your heels. Little movement of the ball under your hands. All right. Let's finish. Roll the ball towards you. Now, I'm going to grab a drink. What we do in most of our practices, most days, is we do a plank pose, because planks are great for overall body conditioning and strength. You talk about holding tension everywhere in your body and then releasing. So good, so good. Let's give it a try. You can do the variation of plank that you like. We set a timer for 1 minute on the screen so you can measure your progress. You don't have to follow the timer. You don't have to do it at all. You do it your way. Today's plank variation, lots of ways to do it. I'm going to take the ball and use it. But if you don't want to do that, or if you want to take it a little easier, neutral tabletop, knees spread wide, hinge the weight forward so you're more in your arms. Hold it here. You can take this variation of plank. You can take a high plank by sending your legs long, straightening your body, pushing into the earth and holding here. The variation of plank I'm going to take today is going to include the ball. I'm going to put it between my thighs. I'm going to come down to my forearms. You can come down to your forearms without the ball between the thighs as well. Knees can come back, elbows underneath the shoulders, hands spread wide. I'm going to tuck my toes towards my shin. I'm going to pop on up to a dolphin plank. Let's go with the timer. All right, here we go. The timer's on the screen. You can time yourself. I'll tell you little time hacks too if you don't want to look at the timer. Gaze down between your forearms if you're in this dolphin plank. Feet are hip width distance apart. The ball there helps. All right, we are 10 seconds in. Oh boy. All right, press your hands, your forearms into the mat. Lengthen through your spine. You've got this. Hold on here. You take it as long as you want. Drop to your knees if you want to take a break. But just push the earth away. Lengthen through your spine. Guess what? You've done 30 seconds. You're halfway there. You're strong. Hold on. Breathe. Spine is long. You are meant for this. Your body was built for movement. Your body was built for work. Don't give up. Don't quit. Take breaks when you need to, certainly. 15 seconds to go. But don't quit. You're quitting on yourself. Don't quit. Push the earth away. Hold here. World's longest plank, I think, is like 4 hours. You can do it because you only got 1 second left. You're done. Come on down. All right. Not bad. Whichever variation of plank you took, good on you. We'll come back to planks in a little bit. All right, let's take the ball. Place it at your low back. Put a block at its stable height down by your feet. Take your ball, place it behind your low back. Lean on back. If you don't have a ball, totally fine. You can lean on back or you can come to fully reclined. It's up to you. The ball, again, creates that little unstable surface. Place the feet up on the block. Soles of the feet touch. Knees open wide. Arms forward. Reach. Little teeny sit-ups here. Breathe. Arms are long. And your neck is long. Your neck and spine are in one straight line. Don't maybe bend your neck with your chin to your chest. Keep it long and straight. Knees open wide. Little teeny pulses on the ball. Breathe. Hands, arms, surround the right leg. Reach, reach, reach. You got it. Little pulses up, little pulses down. Breathe. If you're fully reclined, you could bend your elbows and bring your fingers to your temples and do little sit-ups there. Breathe, breathe. Hands back to center, just realign for a second or two. Then take both parallel arms to the inside and outside of the left leg. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Little twist. Shoulders are away from the ears. Breathing, pulsing. You've got it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hands back to center. Breathe. Meet your knees. Open them up wide. Hold, pulse, breathe. You got it. Let's finish up. Bring your feet off of the block. Remove the ball. Come down to fully reclined if you're not already there. Let's take the ball down by your ankles. Fully reclined. Take it slowly. Come on down. Whew, feeling it in your core? Oh yeah. Let's do a Pilates pose called hundreds. Arms down by your sides. Shoulders away from the ears. Take it in layers, you guys. You can have the ball between your ankles, no ball at all. You could have your heels on the ankles, or your heels on the ball, no problem. Or like I said, no ball at all. When you're ready, peel your chest up a little bit, lift your arms up parallel to the sides of your mat, and start to pulse your hands down. As you do this, lift your legs up, either squeezing that ball or resting on that ball, that's good too, or no ball at all. You decide what you like. Pulse, pulse, pulse. The idea here is that you're going to pulse your hands 100 times toward the earth. You do the number of times it speaks to you. Shoulders away from the ears, legs are long. If you got that ball, give it a good squeeze. Woo! Breathe. Breathe. Most important thing, breathe. Hold on. If you got to take a break, do it. It's all right. It's all good. Shoulders lift maybe a little bit more. Maybe legs lift a little bit more. Breathe. 100 times? How many's 100? I don't know. I don't count. You do what works for you. And then let's finish. Come on down. Stretch it out. Stick pose. Arms are high. Toes point. Just stretch. That was your Pilates hundreds. Breathe. All right. Let's come on up to a seated position. Use your hands or don't. You decide. Let's come into a lunge. So you're gonna need your 2 blocks. I'm gonna grab a drink, 2 blocks, bring them around till you're standing on your knees. Blocks by your sides, maybe highest height, right leg forward, knee over ankle, other leg goes super duper long. Get into those hips, hands press into the blocks, arms lift up, baby back bend, hands back to the blocks, surf. Right leg straightens and then bends. Straighten the right leg. You can walk the blocks back, maybe come to sit on your heel, stretch out those knees, and then maybe come forward with the blocks. Breathe. Come back to the knee over the ankle, press into your blocks, tuck your back left toes under. Let's do a standing half splits. Press into your hands, lift that back leg up, send it up to the sky, maybe move your blocks forward, and bend forward, look toward your right knee. Plant the left foot next to the right. Right foot steps back, really super big. Move your blocks, bend your knees. We'll take the lunge on this side. Right leg goes straight and long. Top of the right foot is on the mat. Hands can stay on the blocks and you can stay here. Maybe come up, shoulders over hips, arms lift, baby back bend, hands back to the blocks. Maybe you want to hang out with hands at prayer center. Start to straighten the left leg and rebend it. Use your blocks to walk it back a little bit. Use your blocks to walk it forward a little bit. Use your blocks to walk it way far back and forward. Just surf it out a little bit. And if it doesn't feel good on your knee, put a towel under it. Let's come back to the starting position. Left knee over left ankle. Tuck your right toes under. Press into your blocks. Send your right leg high. Lift it on up. Look down to your knee. Right foot meets left. Blocks, place them down and grab your hand weights. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. All right, here we are. Whew, you did it. Bring your weights to your shoulders. Lift the weights up. Palms are in towards your ears. Lift the weights up from your shoulders to the sky. Pop on up to the balls of your feet. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Flip your hands so your palms are forward. Push the weight up. Push the weight up. Back to the shoulders. All right. Let's do the next move. Let's march here. March with your right leg up. Weights come down to your shoulders. Leg comes down. Left leg lifts, then comes down. So march. We're going to shake it up. Do it a couple different ways. March. 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 All right, let's bring our palms in toward our ears. Now your feet are on the ground. Let's lift one leg, the right leg. Let's start with the right leg. Lift it up, and the arms go up. Bring it on down. Lift that same leg. Keep staying on the right leg, and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One more lift and lower. Switch to the other leg, the left leg. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. You got it. One leg. All right, one more. Weights come to your shoulders. Feet are solidly planted. Flip your hands so your palms are toward the front of the room. Lift the weights, and when the weights go up, tap out the left foot to the side and bring it back. Tap it out and bring it back. Tap it out and bring it back. So stay with the left leg, tapping out and bringing it back. Everything goes away from the body, the arms, the leg, bring it back. Out to the side and back. Switch to the other leg, the right leg out, weights go up and back. Out and up, out and up. You got it. All right, we're gonna switch it up yet again. Do something different. Are you ready? Okay, come back to the starting position. Let the weights come down by your sides for a moment as your shoulders relax. Wiggle the weights, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Let it go. Bring the weights up to your shoulder, palms in towards your ears. Lift the weights up to the sky. Then lift your left leg. Bring your right elbow to your left knee, and then plant. The foot, leg lifts. Other elbow, other knee, and alternate. Back and forth, back and forth. Knee and elbow can come close to each other, or they can touch. You decide what is best for you in this moment. Opposite leg, opposite elbow. All right, nice work. Let's finish up. All right, weights up by the sky. Lift them high, you got it. Float the arms down by your sides. Wiggle your shoulders, take a breath or two. Big breath in, and a big breath out. All right, think of serving the tray. Here we go. Lift your arms forward, parallel to each other, palms face up, little teeny pulses up, 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 as if you're serving a tray of cocktails. But there are kids at the party too, and they want cookies. So you need to bend your knees, serving that tray, take it on down to those little kids. Let them pick those cookies, let them pick them quick, all right? And then come on up, all the way up. Cocktails to the adults, right? And then kids, come on, bend your knees. Come on down, tray to the kids, little teeny pulses, you got it. One more time, adults, up, lifted, pulses, kids. One more time, love them, yes. Take all those cookies, take all of them just for you, you got it. All right, let's come on back up. Arms down by your sides, wiggle your shoulders back. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Weights up to the sky, elbows bend. You can ditch one weight if you want. Hold on to your weights. Bring them behind your neck. Elbows hugged in by your ears. Lift and lower here as you work the triceps. Oh yeah, good. Breathe. You got it. Don't quit. All right, let's finish up here. Arms go high. Arms float down by your sides. Shoulders back and down. Weights feel good in your hands now, don't they? Bend your knees. Come up to the balls of your feet. Drinking bird. Hug your elbows in. Bend your elbows. Hug the weights towards your armpit. Sink low. You're on the balls of your feet. Shoulders back. Look forward. Find your balance. Send your arms to the back of the room and then back to your armpit. So you're straightening the arms to the back and bringing them in a nice bend. Weights back to the armpit. Send the weights really far back to the back of the room. Pulse the edges of those weights up to the sky. Breathe, you got it. Pulse the weights in, in, in. Stay up on the balls of your feet. Now start to pulse on the balls of your feet. So you're pulsing the weights in, you're pulsing the feet up and down. Breathe. Breathe. Take the pulse a little lower. Breathe, breathe. And when you're ready, let's finish up. Feet come down, weights by your sides, shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Hinge forward at the waist. Let the weights hang in your arms. Give them a little bend, a little wiggle. Same with the knees, a little bend, little wiggle. Remove the weights to the side of your mat. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time, chin last. Arms lift, extended mountain, baby back bend, extended mountain, hands to prayer center. We're going to combine a couple big balancing poses. Tree pose, hands at prayer center. Bend your knee, open it up to the side of the room. Place the foot wherever you want on the inside foundational leg. I'm going to place it low today, and I'll show you why. Just don't put it on your knee. Totally fine to place it low. You know, if you're used to going up high, that's good, but today you're going to want it low. All right, hips are equidistant to the front of the room. Hands at prayer center. Let's take this to a one-legged mountain. Sweep your arms up, bring the knee to the front of the room, and lift the knee to hip height. Draw the toes toward the shin. Lift up out of your hips. Lift up out of your fingers. One-legged mountain. Let's take it to warrior three. Send the right leg back. Send the parallel arms forward. Foundational knee. Left leg, little bend in the knee. Lift that back leg up as much as you like. Reach your arms forward. You could have a chair here too. Hold on to the chair. Sweep the leg back. Come back to your one-legged mountain. Knee to hip height. Hold on here. Hands to first center. Tree pose, back to tree. Let's do it again. You're at tree. One-legged mountain, arms and knee lift. Warrior 3, leg goes back. Arms reach. If you fall out, nobody's looking. Get back into it. Reach, warrior 3. Come on back up. One-legged mountain. Back to your tree. Breathe. Plant the right foot next to the left. Other leg. Prayer center hands. Bend the left knee. Open it up. Take your tree pose low on the leg. Hold it here. Kickstanding, it's fine. Hold it. Arms sweep up. Leg goes forward. One-legged mountain. Solid foundation in your foundational leg. Left leg goes back. Arms reach. Warrior 3. Stretch. Come back to one-legged mountain. Sweep it up. Find your balance. It's tough. Hands to prayer center. Come back to your tree pose. Tree pose. One-legged mountain. Lift. Reach and stretch in your warrior 3. You got it. Back to your one-legged mountain. Balance. Gotta work it. Hands to prayer center. Back to tree. Breathe in. Breathe out. Plant the foot. You did it. Just shaking it up in the head and in the body. All right. Find the ball between the thighs. You can have a chair nearby. What you can do is then bend your knees. Come onto the balls of your feet. Shoulders over your hips. No chair is fine too. Hands can be on your hips, or for better balance, maybe arms reach forward. Maybe arms reach forward to the back of a chair. Totally fine. Pulse the ball in, sink lower. Pulse, pulse, pulse the ball in. Breathe. Squeeze the ball good and tight. Now start to pulse down a little bit in the hips. Shoulders are over your hips. This takes concentration, doesn't it? And that's good, because you're focused on the present moment and only the present moment. Breathe. Breathe. Sink a little lower. And pulse. 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 Maybe hands to your hips feel more secure, or on that chair, you decide. Sink good and low and pulse the ball in. Embrace the little shake. You got it. And then finish. Heels come down. Remove the ball. Let's come down to the mat. Forward fold. Walk your hands forward. Come on down to your knees. Sit on your heels. Tops of your feet on your mat. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Remember plank? Said we'd come back to it? Let's do it again. All right. Place the ball at the bottom of your mat. Place the tops of your feet onto the ball. We'll set another 1-minute timer. You do exactly what you want to do. Maybe it's a time for a water break for you. All right. Shoulders over your wrists. Press on up. Weight on the ball. Let's set that timer. All right. Timer is set. You're balancing on this ball here. So you've got all kinds of little micro wiggles going on as you keep yourself up in this pose. Breathe. Lengthen through your spine. Press into your hands, and fingers are spread wide. Press a little more into your thumb and your pointer finger. We are 15 seconds in, 20 seconds in. Breathe. Hold it here. Stability. Your arms are stable. Shoulders are over your wrist. Ooh, I'm shaking. Embrace the shake. We're halfway there. Breathe. You're strong. Your arms have worked a lot today. You've worked a lot today. Re-engage. Come on. Push it. 20 seconds to go. Breathe. Hold on. Take breaks if you need to. You got it. 10. 10? Yeah, 10. 9. 8. Hold on. Don't give up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh my goodness. I'm done. How about you? Whew. Wide-legged child's pose. Heels back towards your hips. Whew. Or heels, hips. Back towards your heels. That sounds better. Hold that ball. Wiggle it this way and that. And let's be done. Or maybe you're staying in your child's pose. It's all good. All right. Come to your side. I'm going to come to my right side. I'm going to take the ball between my ankles. Send my legs good and long. I'm going to lie on my side. Now, I'm gonna come on down, cradle my head in my hand, and I'm gonna lift my legs, which are long, on the mat, lift and lower, little lifts, little lowers. Maybe not come all the way down to the ground. Maybe hand on your hip or kickstand. I'm gonna lift the legs up and I'm gonna squeeze the ball between my ankles. Breathe. Maybe left arm lifts as you find your balance here. Hold on, you got it. Breathe. Maybe hand to your hip. Or like I said, maybe the kickstand is a good option. All right, let's finish. Legs come down. Switch it to the other side. Oh, balance, right? Legs long, ball between the legs, cradle your head, lift the legs, lift and lower, hand wherever you want. You decide. Lift them up, pulse the ball. Little teeny pulses, you got it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right? How are you doing? You can do it, yes you can. Finish. Legs come down, legs go long. Seated forward fold, remove the ball. Legs are long, toes are up toward the sky. Lift your hands up, lengthen. Now fold forward, breathe. Seated forward fold, hold on to your ankles, your knees, whatever. Hug the elbows in, fold in half. Finish, shoulders over your hips. Let's come in to a side plank. Ooh, not a hard one though. Starfish side plank. All right, so on your knee. Come on to your bottom. Your left knee is on the ground. Left hand is on the mat. Shoulder over wrist. Lift your right leg up. Lift your arm up. Like a big starfish, right? Breathe. Bend your right elbow and your right knee, and maybe have them come toward each other or have them touch. Extend, knee to elbow. Extend, knee to elbow. Extend, knee to elbow. Other side. Switch it. So you're now on your right knee. Hand is down, arm is straight. Left leg is long, hip over hip. Breathe. Left arm lifts. You can stay right here or add in lifting the top left leg. Hold it here, big starfish. Elbow toward knee, or just bend them a little bit or a lot. Reach and bend. You got it? Don't quit. And let's finish. Big starfish, foot comes down, hands come down, you come down to your belly. Find your ball, place it at the bottom of your mat, then place the tops of your feet onto the ball. Walk your hands forward, come down to your belly, bend your elbows, stack your hands, crocodile pose, forehead onto your folded hands. The ball that's under your feet, grab it and squeeze it between your inner ankles. Lift the ball up and lower it. Lift and lower, keeping your head down on your hands. Lift and lower the ball. Then lift the ball up and squeeze the ball in. Place the ball down. Put the tops of your feet back on the top of the ball. Take a big breath in, lengthen through your spine. Big breath out, soften in your shoulders. Your hands and your head are glued together. When you're ready, on an inhale, lift up through the upper body. Hold it here and bring it on down. Inhale, lift in the elbows, the shoulders, the forehead, and lower. Lift and lower. Your pace. Lift it on up and little pulses up, up, up. And then let's finish. Hands underneath your collarbones. Release the ball. Press on up. Seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Elbows are straight. And then come on up to standing on your knees. Put your eye shade and your towel at the top of your mat. Hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Look forward. Camel pose. Little camel. Baby camel. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Push your hips forward. Look higher. Breathe. Take it to what is comfortable for you. No more, no less. Breathe. Let's finish. Come on down. Let's do more for the spine in our bridge pose. All right, so come on down, grab a block. Take your block, come on down to fully reclined on your back. Take it slowly because you're in control. No rush, no hurry. Right here, this transition is important. You're working on it. Bend your knees, soles of your feet on the mat. Take your block, place it underneath your low back. We did bridge yesterday. Now you can hang out here. You can adjust the height of your block if you want. Have the block nice and low and stay in your bridge pose. Totally fine. I'm not going to use the block today. I'm going to press into my feet. Going to send my hips good and high, arms down by my side. Marching, we did with the weights. Let's march in a marching bridge. Lift one knee toward your nose, then the other knee toward your nose. Keep your bridge nice and lifted as you press into that foundational foot. Marching bridge. Let's plant your left foot. Lift your right leg up, toes point, and pulse the foot up to the sky. You're really pressing hard into the left foot. Right foot is pulsing. Press hard into the left foot. Now right toes, draw a circle up on the sky. Circles it one way, circles the other, and then bend the knee. Plant the right foot next to the left. We got another side to do. Push and re-engage up through the hips. Lift the left leg up, point the toes, and pulse the toes. Pushing your arms into the mat. Little circles drawn in one direction. Little circles drawn in the other direction. Don't neglect. That foundational leg is really pushing into the mat. Breathe. All right, let's finish. Plant the foot. Lift your legs up good and high to the sky. Hold on here. Breathe. All right, now if you want, roll your spine down one vertebra at a time or stay on that block in your supported bridge. All right, you know the strength of your spine, the strength of your bones. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, not a good idea. Let's do a quick Pilates bicycle followed by a plow pose. So bring your hips up to the sky and pedal in a bicycle pose. Breathe. All right, this one's for you, Tammy. Okay, you've done your bicycle. Point your toes up toward the sky. Think of your toes as weighted and let them come overhead. Take them as far as is right for you. Breathe in. Exhale the air out of your lungs. Let the toes come closer to the earth. Don't have to come too close. Maybe you're experimenting a little bit. Moving one foot, then the other, to see how far away that ground is. And then touch maybe your toes to the earth. Finish up, roll on up to a seated position. How you doing? You got your eye shade up near your shoulders? Good on you. Let's come on down to fully reclined. Hug your right knee in, left leg long. Just hug it in good and tight. Circle the ankles this way and that. Right leg goes long on your mat. Left leg bends. Hug the left knee in. Circle the ankle this way and that. Left leg goes down. Both feet meet at the bottom of your mat. Drag your heels up. Knees toward your chest. Left hand grabs left knee, right hand grabs right knee, elbows hug in. Peel your shoulders up, maybe kiss one knee, then the other, and send the legs straight all the way down to your mat. Legs go long on your mat. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Arms down by your sides. Breathe in, breathe out. Rest. An important part of your practice. Shoulders away from your ears. Your arms are long, your arms are strong. Right now, your arms are resting. Pinky toes fall toward the earth because your hips have greater mobility for all those things we did today. Breathe in, breathe out. Deep breaths in, slow deep breaths out. Let it go. Soft jaws, soft cheeks, both sets of cheeks, soft on your mat. Let your jaws unclench if your teeth are touching. Soften the area between your eyebrows and enjoy your final Shavasana. a deep breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. If you have your remote control handy and you want to stay longer in final Shavasana, which I'd recommend 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever you have time for, push the pause on your remote button so you can enjoy the silence and the breath. If it's time for you to conclude your practice, let's do that. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, circle your wrists, your ankles. Thank them for the movement they gave you today. On an inhale, reach high overhead, point your toes to the bottom of the mat and take that big good morning stretch. Maybe even wiggle your shoulders a little bit. Oh, movement is so important. You gotta do it. You just gotta do it for the quality of your life. All right, bend your elbows and your knees. Roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Close your eyes. Top shoulder relaxes. Oh, just savor this breath here. I like this breath in the practice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, knowing that you did the hard work. Your body is nourished and your mind is refreshed, and that's a good thing. As you're ready, slowly press on up. With the hands or without the hands, just know what you're doing. Press on up, maybe keep your eyes closed even, and come to a comfortable seated position. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. Hands to prayer center in gratitude. Gratitude's so important. Be thankful for what you have. Do what you can with what you got. Don't lament what you don't have. Focus on what you can do, not what you can't. Deep breath in and deep breath out. All right, open your eyes. Stress number, what was it? Now what is it? Good job. All right, it's definitely gone down, right? Okay, remember, everything's a choice, right? I mean, most things are a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. And I'm glad you made the choice of showing up and being here today to do your yoga, letting me do yoga with you. Stick with it. That's the biggest thing. And that's probably the hardest thing. Stick with it. Doesn't matter how it looks. You do what you can with what you got and just show up. All right, weekend, next week, let's do it. Let's do it all. Okay, so in this closeout thing, look, if you watch PBS and the Durals in Corfu, look, you'll recognize the scene. All right, from us to you, focus on these things, all things that are good. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love you guys. Goodbye. Hello, Piper. You're just a good girl. Yes, you are. We'll go for a walk, huh? See ya. Be all that you can be. Oh, that sounds so silly, but it's true. You're being all that you can be by doing your yoga, by showing up, by doing it every single day. Be faithful to yourself. Be faithful to your practice, whatever that looks like. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. Tell your friends about our yoga. They can join in too from the privacy of their own home. And if you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Be all that you can be and enjoy just being. Aw. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.